Great to have you in. By the way, Baker Mayfield took more shots at me yesterday. I swear to God, his last 5 tweets, he's ripping me. I'll address it later in the hour. I don't want to, but whatever. Joy's joining me. It's the Herd, De'Aaron Fox in about 10 minutes. The Houston Rockets yesterday, basically, Daryl Morey came out and kind of leaked it and just said, I'll trade everybody. James Harden, I would trade him too. Now, probably not, but I'll trade everybody. And I love this, is that, my sports belief system is pretty simple. Be aggressive, always evolve, championship or bust. I mean, that to me is, sports is real simple. Just get after it. Always try to learn and be curious and go after titles. Michael Jordan's Bulls, after titles, kept adding people. They were adding really good all-star level players after titles, in the middle of their dynasty. The Warriors had a title, and they added KD. They're constantly growing. The Houston Rockets, by the way, back in the 90s, 94, 95, won a title with Akeem Olajuwon. They added Clyde Drexler anyway the following year. Daryl Morey's basically saying, listen, we lost to these guys in the playoffs with KD. We lost at the end without KD. This isn't good enough. We're going to go for it. And the owner, Tillman Fertitta, who I don't know, but I know the family because they were kind of the 2 or 3 Vegas families of note when I lived there. He said, I can promise you, we're going to win championships with Harden because we're not going to sit here. I can promise you that. We're not going to sit in our hands here. Listen, the Boston Celtics had KG, Paul Pierce, Rondo, Ray Allen, and Doc Rivers, and they won 1 title. They won it in 2008, and they didn't make enough moves, and they sat on their hands till 2013 before they blew it up, 5 years. And they were good, but they didn't tweak enough. And I'm not blaming any individual person, but that group of guys should have won more than 1 title. And by the way, the Utah Jazz, never forget that. They made the finals in 97 and 98. MJ retired. Now is the time to... They didn't make any big moves, and they never got back to the finals again. So they got there for a couple years. MJ takes some time off. Everybody's like, yeah, and no reason to mess this up. No, keep getting better. That's why I like the Toronto story this year. I didn't think they'd make the finals, but they were a #1 seed, and they fired their head coach. He was coach of the year. They're like, we don't think he's good enough. It's not working. Boom. What? He just won the plaque. And then they had DeMar DeRozan, most popular player ever for the Raptors. We're moving on. He's an all-star. What are you doing? And we're going to get Kawhi Leonard. Well, he may not play. He's a rental. Oh, okay. Like Toronto just said, we're going to be totally aggressive. By the way, trading deadline. We're going to take away some of our depth, and we're going to get Marc Gasol. Oh, you need depth in the playoffs. No, we need Marc Gasol more than depth. They fired a coach, went and got a potential rental, trade Marc Gasol at the trading deadline. Aggressive, evolving, aggressive, evolving. What they're telling you is championship or bust. And I love this. This is there's one of my favorite sayings, and I've said this on the show before. There's a guy named Andy Grove, and he ran this company called Intel, and it's a great business saying. Only the paranoid survive. And Andy Grove said, no, be paranoid. They do want your job. If you have a great job and run a great company, people do want to knock it off its perch. They do want your job. Colin, that's no way to live, to be paranoid. It's better than being unemployed. It's better than losing. Now, I can live with a little paranoia. If I wake up every morning, I'm like, man, I got to keep working hard or I'll get replaced at Fox. I can live with that. What I can't live with is, hey, your ratings stink, you're gone. That's what I can't live with. I got mouths to feed. So Tom Brady, by the way, was paranoid about Jimmy Garoppolo. He's like, you're trying to replace me. Get him out of here. Bob Kraft. By the way, Brady was right. He went to back-to-back Super Bowls. Brady's like, I'm paranoid. I don't like him around here. So what Houston is saying and Houston is doing, there is a history in sports. Even when you're winning titles, MJ's Bulls and the Warriors, add pieces because they're all coming after you. Be paranoid. A little paranoia is okay. It's healthy, and it keeps you on your toes. But what you don't want to do is, we're this close. We're this close. We're fine. We just need a couple of breaks because I felt Houston came into the playoffs this year kind of like, okay, let's make it a math equation. We'll get to the free throw line more than Golden State. And the NBA said, no. We're not going to have 65 free throws in these games. We're not letting that analytic stuff. So it's time to evolve. Now, if they can get somebody to buy the Chris Paul contract, I'm not sure they will. But I love their mindset. Joy with the news.
No.